Long time no see. Let's talk second generation SQ5. Given how disproportionate our paycheck is, a two-car garage will remain as a dream for the most of us. You can have whatever you already have in an MX-5, but you and your partner will have no space to put things. Add little people in the equation, things get even more complicated. No wonder people are buying SUV coupes. The facelifted SQ5 was recently released, which is mostly cosmetic upgrades. A larger screen comes inside a little bit here and there, and still no RS treatment. It is fair to ask who will buy this over an X3 M40i or GLC 43 because lesser SQ5s were sold. That's because its competitor is faster and more interesting to look at. Alright, if you care for rear bench recline, you go for the Audi. If you care for a more comfortable cabin, you go for the Audi. And the biggest reason I suspect for those who went for an SQ5, it is for its understatement.
Aside from large wheels with painted brakes and badges, there isn't more giveaway on this being the cream of the crop. At least not until you press the start button.
My apologies for the dirty car. It was washed prior to the first shoot, did some off-roading and it got dusty. It was then washed again. It rained the day before, so with those excuses aside, let's get to what I like about SQ5.
Like most Audis, it is a nice place to be in, and the first thing to do every time is to turn off auto start stop. There's a good amount of legroom. The digital speedometer is nice to look at, while quilted seats nice to touch. On the move, sound insulation from the outside wall is superb, even when there is a panoramic sunroof. This frameless rear mirror is a nice touch. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard. Audi MMI with some learning is pretty easy to get used to. I like my CDs, and this has a DVD player, probably the only automaker that still provides one.
Having done 34,000 kilometers, nothing squeaks or rattles, so let's jump into what's an option on this vehicle. First off, blue metallic paint. Yes, that's an option on your $100,000 car.
Matrix LED headlamps, especially good for night driving, which also comes with sweeping indicators. B&O audio is something to have in every Audi. 3D sound has to be activated for all 19 speakers to be firing, and it does bring about a rounded hi-fi experience. Crisp highs, detailed mids and deep lows. Although the Bowers & Wilkins in the Volvo is superior, this is a close second, which is substantially better than the one in Mercedes and BMW. Extended upholstery certainly elevates the cabin, but this is not applied onto the dash and it does not match the seats. Firearm wheels, a no-cost option. Head-up display, it is nice to keep speed in check. Weight-saving carbon fiber inlays is desirable but unnecessary and expensive. The costliest option, a huge panoramic sunroof to give the cabin an airy feel. Quattro sports differential to give your SUV a car-like response in the bends. I would say yes in an S5, but I don't think so in an SQ5.
Lastly, cargo rails that are never once used. On to the first thing that we do not have, wireless charging. Although nice to have, but it's something you can live without.
Black styling package which blacks out silver exterior beds. Ventilated seats, vital in the summer, but these beautifully stitched Napa leather will be replaced with Milano. Heated seats on the second row. Your rear passengers will thank you in the winter.
And air suspension to give an even better ride. And on to what's not so good about the SQ5. The signal on the keys are particularly weak. It is often where you want to unlock the car, it doesn't. It gets extremely frustrating when you're carrying heavy things or are in a hurry.
Only some crackles can be heard from the driver's seat. Therefore, I dropped both the rear seats down to hear more sounds, but that will wrinkle the leather, so they are now back up. Earlier I said the exhaust can be made louder. If you were to keep everything on loudest, the drone and everyday driving will wear you out. What's more, the artificial engine sound is admittedly diesel-like. Traction control and ABS is tuned to be fashionably Audi. The slightest hint that things might go out of shape, they kick in. You can only lock and unlock the car on the driver's side. The passenger side gets cut out with no buttons.
This negative applies to all sporty SUVs. You can give more power, stiffer springs, and differential. But at the end of the day, it is no sports car because you simply cannot defeat physics. The fastest SUV today can achieve supercar lap times. However, it feels nothing like it behind the wheel.
Someone reversed into the SQ5, so it had to be sent in for a bumper replacement, and I was given a Q2 for a couple of weeks. I surely enjoy its smaller dimensions and efficiency. No complaints there, but getting out of that and into this makes you realize how much more quiet it is in here. Not something you care about when you go get the groceries.
As a whole, does this work as the one car that does it all? The truth is, nothing in the world does that.
Since I enjoy exploring remote places, the SQ5 works for me. Taking the driving out of long journeys and occasionally being a bit immature with the exhaust, that will do, at least for now.
Let me know what you think of the SQ5 or if I should spend more money to get a Macan GTS. I'm Xiang. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.